Awesome. Well, I'm gonna just do like a brief intro. So Jessica is a mom. Mom of how many?
Two,
Two.
4-year-old and an 8-year-old.
Yeah. Busy. Jessica has done a lot on shoppable lives. She also does uh, shoppable videos, but shoppable lives are primarily probably I would say 90% of your GMV. Um, Jessica joined us at Thunder back in November 2024, and has consistently been a top creator since she joined. And yeah, I don't want to share numbers, but you do pretty okay. And then most of your GMV comes from your home and living streams. Is that correct? Yeah.
Yep,
And then your winning product is the giant bean bag.
it is.
Yeah.
It is for
um,
now.
yeah, and that's where you sit and stream from most of the time, right?
For now, yep.
Yeah. Okay. Um,
If it's selling, I'm doing
yeah, of course.
it.
And then you also teach others on how to make money from Shoppable Live through your own coaching course, correct? In your bio.
Yep, I do a module in TikTok Shop Lives and Embrace the Space.
Awesome.
So,
Cool. Yeah, that's good to know. So, just tell us a little bit more on like how you get started, or how you got started on TikTok Shop, and like what got you into social commerce in the first place.
so in June, I was notified from my corporate life. I did have a very, very high corporate job position, and they were eliminating my position. They did offer me a lower position, and I used to do that job and I hated it because it was working nights 1 month and then days 1 month and just like always flip-flopping every single month, and it was about 13-hour days.
Mm,
So after putting 13 years in at that place, I had to decline. um, I wasn't like right, first thing saying like I'm gonna go be on TikTok. But I did like wallow and kind of peruse for positions. And then I did see someone on TikTok. Like it was right at that trend where everyone was just making money on TikTok. And I kind of dabbled in it as I still looked for another job. And so in July, I got accepted into TikTok Shop,
cool.
and I didn't know what the heck I was doing. Like I was getting declined for samples. I did not know how to do it. And that's kind of where I got a little bit into the digital marketing side of TikTok. Um, Kind of changed my whole mindset on everything. I do think mindset is key for TikTok Shop in general, because if you start comparing yourself to others or comparing yourself to anything, the success just, or like you just get swallowed. So I think that that course that I purchased helped me a ton, and I found success within the month of purchasing that course.
Hmm.
So I did right at the end of August, had my first like month where I kind of made some cash, like some enough cash where I'm like, okay, this may be legit. Then I went to Vegas, took a week off, and then I like doubled down and just ran from there.
That's
So
awesome. That's awesome. Uh, so you started in July, August, and then how long did it take to actually like see that success? Like when did it actually become like a real thing? Or was there like a certain point, or did it gradually start?
So in September, I made enough where my husband was like, okay, maybe you don't have to get another job. If you can make this much money that you just made, we're going to be good. And then it doubled, and then it doubled. And now I'm consistently staying where I'm at right there. And I'm still looking to get past that threshold, which I'm on track right now this month to get past that threshold. So I'm not like plateauing, and I still want to keep multiplying. So it kept doubling and doubling, and if not tripling at one point, it was probably the from September to the next month where it was just like, okay, it was taking off. I haven't always been on my beanbag. I did start with Brewmate, those cups,
Mm.
and then I kind of went to like a dinosaur track,
Oh,
and then now I'm on the beanbag. So I'm not always on the same thing, but I do try to be on something that I really, really like and I can talk about a lot.
awesome.
So,
Yeah. Are those other products also, did you sell those products also on live primarily, or were those,
mhm,
okay. Is
all
there,
on lives.
awesome. Is there a reason why you prefer lives over video?
Um, I had a hard time just making videos and waiting and praying and hoping that they took
Mm.
off. So when you go live, you actually get to have that conversation with someone. You actually get to hear someone's excitement or all of the details about a product that you really want to hear before like you hear a video where it's like, 7 seconds of a product that may look cool, but you just don't know enough about, right?
Mm.
So I kind of took my own experience. Like if I purchase this beanbag, I need to know more than what 30 seconds is going to tell me about.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I like the lives because you only need to stay as long as you need to hear that information and then you can skedaddle, right? And then the cool thing is one, I get to give the person who's purchasing that shout out if I'm using my dashboard and thank them personally. Then they come back.
Mm.
So if you're selling a really, really good product, they come back and then they don't only like you get that joy of them coming back and like, thank you so much. But then they're telling everybody else how awesome that product is. And it's not just me. So it's kind of like buildable, right?
Yeah.
So that's why I really like the lives. I've had so many people come in my live, especially on that beanbag where they're like, yeah, this is awesome. This is legit. Grab this beanbag and people just buy because of what that person said. Not even that I'm like on this beanbag, like it's legit. It's the other people that help. So
Yeah. Yeah. It's all kind of like word of mouth, right?
Hey everybody, super quick. I just want to let you know that we just launched Thunder University, our new school community. This new community is where we'll be hosting our weekly community calls, sharing exclusive opportunities to work with top brands, offering daily tips and support, and where you'll be able to find all of our TikTok Shop course material. You'll already have access to hours of exclusive educational content from our team of TikTok Shop experts as soon as you join, with new content getting uploaded on a consistent basis from our team, as well as the top performing affiliates we work closely with. If you want to check out Thunder University and get more information, it will be the first link in the description. Thanks for the minute of your time. Now let's get back to the video.
So it sounds
yep.
like there's a lot of like emotions involved in your live experience. Can you like tell us a little bit more about like your emotions during and after your live, like in especially when the live is successful? Do you are you excited? Are you nervous? Are you just like
Um, so I've had a few lives where they just like pop off. Like there's thousands of people in the room where you can just tell in my tone of voice, like, I'm nervous. There's a lot of people watching me. Um, and like they like, 20,000 GMV in a live in like less than 2 hours is wild.
Mm,
And I've done it because I don't even know how it happened. You know what I mean? And yes, I'm kind of nervous, but I definitely just try to stay humbled and true to what my lives are in general. And I try not to let the numbers of anything affect what I'm saying and what I'm doing.
mm,
Because if it's not selling and I'm like, hey, buy this beanbag, no one's going to want to buy that beanbag. You know
right.
what I mean? So I try to keep it very neutralized of like, what I'm saying and how I'm saying it because I don't want to change the way I'm acting just because people are buying or people aren't buying, right? But inside, I'm dying inside. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's exciting, it's cool, it's awesome. You obviously know what's happening on the back end and everything that's happening with it. But I try to not have that like show through to those people.
Hmm.
But I can say like there was a live recently where I did like that 30,000 GMV on one live. And I'm like, oh my God. And I'm cheering and I'm like, I'm not going to cry, I swear. Like, because it was wild. It was
Yeah.
just like, I couldn't sit down on the beanbag. I tried to get up and cheer and I literally couldn't sit because I kept buying. And I'm just like, so it gets crazy cool sometimes. And that's really awesome. But not all of them are like that. So staying very humble to know that like it's not going to always be like that is
Yeah.
kind of where I try to stay.
Yeah. No, that's a great posture to take. And it seems like also your consistency played a big part of your in your success. What would you what would you say like to people that maybe are having trouble being consistent? Like what would be like one advice you would give? But yeah.
So I would always say find a time that always works. You don't have to do 3 lives like I do. But one, like that's like the bread and butter of what you can do, even if it's after the kids go to bed. Always just find one time that you can always do consistently. I do that 8 a.m. every single day, 7 days a week for at least an hour. So I am very, very consistent with that timing. But also, if you're not finding that success, change the product up. I do not think like I could go live with something, not the beanbag, and I would jump up and I would go right back down to like 20 people. So switching up that product, trying something that you really, really actually like and that you can sound like. I didn't always do a face forward live where you're seeing me.
Yeah.
And I do look a hot mess on my live most times. Like I'm a mom, I'm a busy mom, like you said. I roll out of bed and put my hair up in a clip.
Right.
And I'm usually in my pajamas. I'm in something acceptable to take the kids to school. And I get on my beanbag.
Yeah.
So I just make it work for me. And I could, keep pushing it off like, okay, I'm going to do it at 9 o'clock so I can take a shower, put on. No, I think that really just suits my vibe, that I'm really like cozy, chill, not all put together, because we're not all put together. It's very relatable.
Yeah.
So it kind of just works.
I mean, yeah, and that makes it makes you more relatable, and it's when you get on, it's I think there's a there's a world where sometimes if someone comes in and they're all like done up and whatever, it puts on this kind of like facade, but now we're seeing Jessica in her like real element. She's and you're talking about real life products that you love and use on the daily, and so that's really really cool. I want to ask about the beanbag right now. Is it when it's sitting in your home? Do you guys is it like this is out of script a little bit, but do you just look at that beanbag and be like that's so weird, like it's this beanbag is like doing work right now?
Kind of. So with any of like my like, I don't want to call them winning products, but like there's some of the products that I have where I'm like, yeah, like this is pretty awesome. And I have more than one of those beanbags.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
So
yeah, of course.
I do like, it's really actually really comfortable and I really do love it. And I do have more than one.
Yeah.
So
okay.
It sucks though, because a lot of people do ask to see the other one and I don't have it like readily like showable. I'm not going to take you upstairs to like my room to show you my beanbag. So it's kind of like a trust, like that it's there kind of thing.
Yeah.
But
it's I'm sure it's also can't just like be moving it up and down the stairs. So
yeah, they're heavy, and I do I try to talk about all of that with them so they know exactly what they're getting. And that's the other thing, is when they get it, if they're ever like questioning the process, they can hop on my live and I can kind of like, trust the process, buddy. We're going to get this. It's going to be great. I promise.
Yeah. No, that's awesome. Would you recommend this to other moms that may be in the same position as you?
Definitely. Because if you're scrolling on TikTok at all, like you should be at least trying to monetize something.
Yeah. You can be
So
using
when
this time
I,
to do XYZ. You can be using this
yeah,
time
I
to sell
mean,
products.
most of those videos, like, so when I did go to Florida, and yes, 90% of my income is lives. But when I did go to Florida and for those 9 days, I didn't go live at all. And I still had no $0 days.
Hmm. That's
So,
great.
but also while I'm live, I always tell them, get it in your cart.
Yeah.
So, you always have people checking out later and later and later. And TikTok likes when those things are in your cart because they start giving you coupons to get it out of your cart. So
I see.
it's kind of a tactic too to kind of
And that's
help
how your
you.
GMV keeps going. Even if you're not going live, it keeps going because people are leaving it in the cart and they just buy it later.
Mhm.
That's awesome. What do you think is the minimum duration for a good live in your opinion? Like, is there a minimum duration that you want to spend on live to make it successful?
So if I go live and I don't sell anything within 30 minutes, I'm probably thinking about hopping off.
Hmm.
Usually, so sometimes with that beanbag, I didn't always have flash sales, and it would be like an hour flash sale that it would do. I would stay until the end because you would have like that little, that last 10 minutes of the flash sale where that sense of urgency to grab it because we don't know if it's going to reset or not.
Hmm.
So sometimes I would stay on just for that. And sometimes that would be a bust. I'm not going to lie. I've gone on a live for that entire flash sale and had crickets.
Yeah.
But not letting that turn around and affect me. Sorry, my dogs are going crazy. The male
It,
guy's probably here.
no, we can't hear it.
Okay, good. But not letting that affect my next live is key.
Yeah.
So yes, I just had a goose egg of a live where I spent an hour and I made nothing.
Yeah.
And then going to the next live and not letting that affect me.
Yeah.
So that's the big thing.
That's
Because
great.
it does suck.
Yeah, of
But
course.
it's just what it is.
Yeah, it's part of it, right? Like everything, social media in general. I always tell people like it's always like it's a roller coaster, right? There's ups and downs, and I think it's just kind of going through the motions and just like staying very strong minded. I'd say,
Mm-hmm.
and then it'll get back up. It's just consistency. I know that you also like teach on how to sell on TikTok Shop. What experience have you noticed with creators? In terms of struggles, what have they? What do they struggle with that kind of hinders them from finding success on TikTok Shop?
Comparing.
Comparing yourself to
You
others.
see someone's room number so high and you compare to them, but you don't know what they're doing in the back end
Mm,
of like to get those numbers, right? You only see them, you're not living that person's life.
mm-hmm,
So that's why I really like those courses, not because you need to resell them. I actually teach in that and I don't really resell it. I do have some people come to me and ask me what I do, and I'm like, I do this and I teach it here. And if you want to learn it, like I will answer any of your questions. I'm never going to ignore anyone who messages me. But if you want a full rundown, a complete like mindset shift, this is going to do it for you.
mm-hmm.
So I had that person to help me do that and kind of I didn't believe it at first when I like started, and I got a course. I was just like, I need something. I need some sort of help. And this person's making so much money and I didn't want to do that. I didn't want to resell the course. So, but once I saw that you can shift that mindset and not compare yourself to someone else,
Mm,
and then you can actually support that someone else, and that someone else could be coming back and supporting you, which is going to in turn make your numbers better.
mm-hmm.
It's not a competition. Even though TikTok loves to do the competitions and I love competing in them, I still support all of the people above me and all of the people below me. We can all win. Like maybe this month wasn't my month to win that competition, and maybe next month this.
Yeah,
So
of
like
course.
last month, I won 3 of them.
Yeah.
So
No, that's great.
this month, I'm in 4th.
It
So
that's a yeah, I mean, that's still good. That's still really good.
yeah.
Um Thank you for sharing. I think a lot of people can be competitive, but it's really cool to see that you're also like willing to help, just and support people above you and under you. Switching gears, I had a just question in terms of like the products you sell. I know that you stick with beanbag right now, and it sounds like you stick to like one product at a time. But what are your thoughts about promoting trending products versus like sticking to one product at a time? Has that worked for you in the past? Because a lot of people will jump on certain trends. What are your thoughts about all of that?
I think it could work. And sometimes the things that I'm promoting are trending. I think that a lot of people want their creators on that beanbag because it's trending. But I do like to say, like, the trend that's happening right now is probably because my very big day just like recently happened where it's like, okay, we got to jump on that wagon.
Mm,
But usually by the time you get it and by the time you're ready to know enough about it, you have already passed it.
mm,
So that's kind of the thing. If you have it right away, yeah, like um I did do a great GMV with those what are they, the off brand of UGG, but they're still Kulabara.
okay, yeah.
I had those at the time and they went like super trendy. I hopped on live. I didn't even have to really say much about them and they were selling lickety split, but that wasn't going to be a long-term plan, right?
Mm,
That's only going to be like short-term plan and it's going to go within, it did go within like a week they were sold out.
mm,
So it's not a long-term plan if you have it. Like, yeah, been experiencing with like calling them B lives. Like I have the time right now in my schedule before summer to do a fourth, like, 30-minute to an hour extra live.
mm-hmm.
So trying those and testing those out to see if it's going to work. So I do go live with other things like other than the beanbag, but that is definitely the special sauce. And if it doesn't do well a day, I have to pivot. I
Yeah,
have to find something that's going to sell. I can't just rely on that day in and day out. It's not going to sell every single day like how it, you know.
yeah,
So
yeah, of
I
course.
do try to find that next product, that pivot, that where somewhere where I can go to still, I did a week of Hey Dudes during their Super Brand Day. I did all of my lives on that.
Mm-hmm,
And
mm-hmm.
still had people hopping on like, where's the beanbag? Like, I'll be back next week. Calm down.
Yeah,
Like we'll be back, but I'm gonna do this and support the Super Brand Day and the really good deals. And I already have all the products, so
yeah,
um,
that's
kind of
awesome.
just, and it's kind of nice to get away from the product that you're always selling.
Yeah,
It's kind of hard to sound very, very excited about something that you really truly are excited about, but you've talked about it
so many times.
like 4 hours for the day. You know what I mean? So it is nice to kind of pivot and just talk about something different for a minute. So
Yeah, no, that's great. Now, are there any tools that you use to like find the next product, or maybe like are there any tools that you use to help your overall, success on live or
um
shop?
so in those competitions, I used to, before like I got where I am, I'd always call it like, I never expected to perform well in them, but I'd
Mm,
always call them market research,
mm,
because the people who are up high, like those are trending products, or what do I like? What am I gonna, what do I want to sell next, kind of thing. And then just kind of paying attention to what is selling and what is long term and what is something I see myself selling. Like during a live, if you're not like constantly talking, because when you pop in is not going to be the same time that Sally pops in, not going to be the same time that John pops in. Like those words have got to continuously flow and in a circle, right?
yeah,
So you get the same information that Sally gets, that John gets in a very short amount of time. So you're not sitting there for 10 minutes trying to get me to the point, right?
yeah, yeah,
So it's just something that you can talk about and talk a lot about and still cycle it and not get annoyed. cycling it.
Yeah, no, that's
Because
great.
it is repetitive.
Do you
So
have this like off the top, or do you write it down? Do you have like a script, like maybe not a script, but like maybe a few bullet points of like things that you want to like? It's all in your head.
it's all in my head. I always tell everyone I'm an SHIT show most of the time. It's all coming up here. But once I've been on it for so long, I don't even need to think about it.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
it's already like ingrained. Now, like when it's the first time I've going live with it, I do probably, look at the product, know whether it's free shipping, how long it's going to ship, like the key points that I want to talk about, right?
Hmm.
But if it's something that I truly like when I did Hey Dudes for the first time for that live, I already like Hey Dudes. I know the key points to those Hey Dudes. So I would just talk about them and then let people know like there's a ton other in the cart. And if I was sick of talking about that shoe, I just go to another shoe and talk about that shoe. So, and then talk about the key features of that. So, no, I just make it off of the top of my head and probably repeat myself in funnels. I don't know, but it seems to work for me. And I really I think at one point, we did talk, you and I, or someone and I and Thunder talked about scripts, and I'm like, I make it up.
Yeah,
Like, that's how I make it work, is like,
yeah,
I read the description, I like the product, I know the product, and that's how I let it fly.
yeah. No,
So
that's great. I mean, if it sounds like you're good at it, and I think
authentic.
yeah, it's authentic. I think sometimes some people might need some scripts, or maybe not a script, but like an idea of like what to say,
Hmm.
and kind of like you said, like kind of repeat it because XYZ is going to join, in the next 5 minutes, and
Hmm.
someone else might leave. So, but it's like it comes down to like a lot of it also comes down to like what you say, how you say it, how what you're feeling when you're saying it, and stuff like that.
Hmm.
So no,
Yep. And I
that's really
think
cool.
now, if it's something with like measurements, I did, like I said, those B-roll lives that I do. Like I've done suitcases, like they want to know sizes. If you don't
Mm,
know those sizes, like I always have another phone.
yeah,
So I can look at the product description and be like, I'll get that for you, but it's not fun to do. So
while
having
you're
that information somewhere, like even if it's like underneath your tripod, is
has to be handy.
gold.
Yeah,
It should definitely be there just because it is like nerve wracking when they like start asking measurements and you're like, I know I saw it somewhere. Hold on. Like, you know what I mean? But then I'm
yeah,
just like, I'm a hot mess mom. Like, I am who I am kind of thing. And then they're like, okay, relatable.
yeah,
And then once I give it to them, so usually if the first live that I do with anything is usually a mess,
yeah,
I'm not going to lie.
yeah.
But I learn from it and I don't make it happen again.
Hmm.
So if they're asking all of this questions, I'm going to have that answer the next time. And I'm going to also include it in what I'm saying the next time. So that I'm not getting asked it over and over.
Hmm.
Except for I do really like the engagement. Like 80 people will ask me what size beanbag I'm on. I could put a billboard right up here saying I'm in the 5 foot beanbag. I choose not to do that because I want the engagement. I want the comments. I want that down there, right?
Hmm.
So you want something that's going to stop the scroll, but you also want something so someone can ask a question and engage in your comments.
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
that is really, really nice. And I purposely don't do that and put what size I'm in because they're always asking, which is
Yeah.
great. You
No.
want them to ask.
Yeah. No, that's great. Um, now, when you're doing all these lives, do you obviously like do you take advantage of like any coupons, flash sales, and discounts? How do you use them? Like how like what's your bet like methodology behind those? You mentioned uh, there's urgency behind certain flash sales
Mhm.
that do you usually coordinate those with the brand, or how does that all work?
Yep. So I apply for some of the coupons with TikTok. So I'm privileged enough to be in a situation where I can apply for coupons. And then I do work with the brands to get any sort of flash sales that I can get, because that does do the urgency. But like this today, I was running out of a certain color. I sold out of that color when I told them, like, I got 2,
Yeah.
and it went gone.
Yeah.
So
Fast.
it does have that sense of urgency, and I've sold without it. I don't need the flash sale. It's nice. It makes it a little bit easier, but not always necessary. But it does, as someone who's starting, the flash sale is always good. Everyone wants a savings.
Yeah, of course.
Everyone wants free shipping. I will not go live with anything that has you have to pay for shipping.
Yeah.
So as long as free shipping is available. So I did do lives with like a blanket for a while. If you bought 2, you were going to get free shipping.
Great.
So that was like towards Christmas time. I'm like, get one for yourself. You want one for yourself, then get one as a gift. You're killing 2 birds, 1 stone. You get a blanket, you give a blanket, Christmas present, something for yourself. Got
Great.
free shipping.
Awesome.
So
no, that's awesome. That's great. I have I want to get your advice on something. So we have some creators that will go live, and their views will go up, and then a few minutes later, views kind of drop pretty quickly. How do you kind of maintain your viewership throughout the whole stream, keep them engaged and convincing them to buy? Is there any tactics or tips that you can share?
Same. Everyone's goes up really, really high and then really, really drops. But I start talking from 0 to whenever. So it does, especially lately, it does gradually lift and then it will drop, but not even changing that tone when it hits like 800 and then it goes to like 600 to 400. Like, we're really excited that there's 800 people in there, but we also have to be very excited for those 400, because those are probably for real potential buyers. And it's still a lot. Even if you drop down to 20, those 20 people could be very, very interested and give you enough money that you're like making way more than you would be at a corporate job. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I do, the second I press go live, I'm talking.
Yep.
And I'm probably talking to nobody yet.
Yeah.
But so when they pop in, they are already stopping.
Yep.
If I'm sitting there waiting for people to join,
and they can be looking at you from the FYP.
Yeah, and you're not even like talking, then there's no point. So I get to the point really, really quickly. So
that's
and
awesome.
I mean, it does take a couple minutes to start it, walk to the beanbag, get the flash sale going. I do start it on a second phone so I can see like what I'm seeing. I'm my own mod. So when you do get a ton of people in your room, you get people saying the inappropriate things. So I mod for myself with my phone. So, and I can see all of the comments that are, they're filtered, but they're not completely filtered. You can't see that on your dashboard. So if you were your own mod, you can see those filtered comments. And a lot of them are, what size are you on? And I can approve those comments. So it takes a minute or 2, but I'm still talking.
That sounds challenging though, like moderating your own lives and selling at the same time. Yeah. Is it easy, do you think, or?
Not at first.
Yeah.
And I mean, if I was doing something like the vibration plate, that one's a little bit harder to mod for because you are consistently reading. But I have learned how to finagle like that really, really easily, because if I'm on something where I'm super far away, I'm going to mirror it onto my TV so it's super big. So I'm actually reading my phone from my TV so then I can read it, because my real phone where it's recording from is far, far away. So then you don't really have to mod that much. You can still like look at the phone and pay attention, but you're just reading the TV and then you like, oh, I got to delete this one. You know what I mean? Instead of like looking at your phone and like, oh, gotta delete that.
Yeah.
You're like looking up, still talking, and you're still like gazing. It's just kind of works for me, and I don't want someone to take the time out of their day to
do that.
mod for me.
Yeah.
So
no, that as long as you can make it work, that's great. Sounds like it needs it might need some practice, but yeah, cool. In terms of like calls to actions, do you think those are important? Do you use them in your lives? Yeah.
All the time. So even so, I don't have anything like what size beanbag I'm on. That's engaging things, right? But I do always remind them that I have a coupon in the top left-hand corner that's going to save them money. And I always tell them, when you click the banner at the bottom of the screen, you're going to see this, this, this. And they click it because they want to see if I'm lying or not. You know what I mean? And then telling them exactly how to buy, exactly how to do it. It's some people literally don't know how to do it. So, and like always, like if you are having troubles getting the coupon, if you're having any issues getting it in your cart for this price, like I'm getting it in my cart for this price, and then I can take my phone and literally show them how to do it. Some people just don't know. You don't know what you don't know.
Yeah.
But I also encourage them to shop on all lives when I'm on my live. And like let them know, like, those coupons aren't going to be on a video. Those coupons are going to be on a live. So shop from a live kind of thing.
I see. Got it. No, that's great.
But yes, it's definitely important. If I just jibber jabber about this beanbag, if you don't have it pinned either and they don't know where to go, you just wasted time.
I'm sure there's a lot of people buying for the first time too. You know,
tons of people.
That's where the calls to action come in.
Yeah, I've had so many people say that this was their first purchase from TikTok Shop. And then I do, like, when they say that, I do let them know, like, to consider purchasing from TikTok Shop more, that you're not just helping Olivia Magic Go in their business, but you are helping a creator, a small family. It's way more, you know, layered than purchasing from the Zon, because you can't say Amazon on TikTok. But, so I let them know, like, there's a lot more layers and you're getting it for a better price normally on TikTok. So, and at least I do check like all of the, you know, everything. I try to do my research where I can say, you're not going to find this price anywhere else kind of thing. So I do try to let them know, like, you don't have to look it up, but you can, and you're going to be proven that I'm right.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, that's great. That's awesome. Thanks for sharing. I have a couple final questions for you. Now, is there anything else? We spoke about calls to actions, discounts, and like flash sales and whatnot. Is there anything else that you make sure that you do in every stream?
Every stream lately, I do try to say my username. I let them know that they should follow me, and I say the day a lot because I get screen recorded a ton where my lives get stolen. So I do try to add key fundamentals that make it so it's very glitchy for someone to screen record me.
Got it.
So when I say happy Monday 80,000 times, one, I'm trying to fill a gap for finding my words. And two, it's a pain. It's got to be a pain for someone who's screen recording me. And I've had at least 15, if not more, probably way more, screen recordings. I've had a screen recording where I got really emotional about my screen recorded, where I showed the video of someone live with my video or my live on there. It was not something I really wanted to relive over and over and over, but that person definitely did it for me. So I do try to add some of those fundamentals. I don't think that adding the date, the time, or anything really matters to your live, because they're going to put a picture of the product or something over that, or your face.
Yeah.
Or that's what they like to do for me, is put something there. So it doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
So what I say does matter.
Yeah.
I try to move around and change the position of where I'm at, which is kind of why I've been cheering every single time, because that puts me in the, really in the face of them. And then, it just makes it inconvenient for screen recording.
Yeah. That's really smart actually. This is actually something I'm hearing for the first time, but yeah, that's good advice. Thanks for sharing. Um,
Yep.
hopefully TikTok can do something about these screen recording people, because
Yeah.
we've definitely had a few issues with that. So,
Especially when I say that I'm the owner.
mhm.
That one just like, how is that not a violation where I said I'm the owner? You can go like check my whole live stat, like my whole videos, and like you can see my face, you can hear
Mhm.
my voice, like it's matching. I feel like AI should be able to catch some of that, right?
Yeah,
I don't know.
yeah,
I feel like that there's got to be a better way,
yeah.
but that is
They're
something to look out for, and it's unfortunate that we do have to look out for that. But honestly, it helps not repeat as much so quickly. Like, follow me, Jessa, you know what I mean? Like, and if, like, right now with the flash sales with the coupons, it's so good because they don't have any of those things.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
So, when being able to say, make sure you see live flash sale at the bottom of the screen, and always just key things that they're going to see during your live and not during another screen recording or anything like that, just making it inconvenient for them. But other than that, I mean, those are the only things that I make sure I do every single time, and try to be, like I said, really humbled
Yeah,
and like, for like, I don't know, like we're all excited when everything's selling, but
yeah,
like we have to be really excited when it's really not either.
yeah, yeah,
Like, check out, get off the live because you're not doing a service to anyone or anything when you aren't excited. Because then they're gonna be like, that person's just trying to make a buck. That's probably a piece of crap. And they're never gonna buy from you later. So
yeah,
if you're not into it, just don't do it.
yeah,
Just take a minute, take a day.
yeah, yeah.
So
You have to be excited. You have to come in with the right mentality to crush it. Cool.
yep.
So to wrap up, if there is, let's say, there's someone that's thinking about getting started on TikTok Shop, or Shoppable Lives today, what is one thing you would tell them, or maybe like something that would inspire them? What would that be?
Um Everything can change so quickly. Like, how many months am I into this, and I am changing my whole family's life from home, and I'm able to flex and make it work. Everything that I did get taken away from like corporate life, you know, is all working for me. It can change in a moment. So if you are looking to get started, just start. Find a friend in the same point that you are. That's what really changed for me, is like having someone who may have, like, when I first started, we would just hang out in each other's lives. We'd tap on the screen. We'd like it when no one else is talking. We're talking to, like, message, not messaging, but they would ask a question during my live and I'd be able to respond just to keep that conversation going. It's nice when you have a friend. I'm like, well, that wasn't how we expected. And then, like, when it starts changing, we're like, okay, we got this, like, kind of like a motivator, but also someone to just go along the journey with.
Yeah,
So, as long as it's not the same product, I
yeah,
don't recommend, like, if you guys are doing the same product, that's no fun, because then you start making it like, don't ever get into a competition with someone. Like, stay in your lane.
yeah.
So,
Cool. Well,
yep.
Jessica, thank you so much for your time today.
Hmm.
It was a pleasure having you and just chatting with you in person. I know we spoke before, but it was nice to see you in person again.
Yep.
But yeah, obviously, if you ever need any additional support, feel free to reach out to me or anyone on the Thunder team. And yeah, we're excited for your journey, and we're excited to um, see you just continue to crush it on TikTok Shop. Thank you for
Yep.
joining us.
You guys have been a great support lately. I'm excited, and the team is really like, we're going to get this, we're going to get further than what we're going to double. We're going to double my goal. Like, we're going to keep growing. That's the goal.
Amen to that.
So,
Awesome.
yes.
Well, thank you so much, Jessica.
Thank you.
Yeah, and we'll
Have a great day.
likewise.